Dude, in the last 10 weeks alone, my coaching and consulting business has generated over $130,000 in new sales without using funnels, without setters, closers, sales team, VAs, or any of that stuff. And I just put together a masterclass that I'm about to present to my clients tomorrow morning. And I wanted to give you an insight into some of the changes that I've made to my strategy, the client ecosystem, to help me generate this cash for my coaching business. So without further ado, let's get stuck into the presentation, and I'm going to walk you through how it is exactly that I am doing this. So first of all, to give you a bit of an insight into what the client ecosystem is, first and foremost, we run what I call growth tax ads. Now we run these on Instagram, and essentially they are a direct call to action ad for your perfect future clients to follow your social media page, to follow your Instagram page. I then use a strategy called the chats to cash, which is basically a new follower message that gets sent to every new qualified lead. Now, the reason that we send this message to our qualified leads is when you have an open line of communication in the DMs with somebody on Instagram, you appear higher in their algorithm. They're going to start seeing your content more. You'll appear more regularly in their story feed. So by having this open line of communication, I'm not trying to sell something to someone. I'm not trying to push them into a lead magnet. I'm literally just trying to open a line of communication so that I appear higher in their algorithm. Then what I do is I use ManyChat to collect emails from my most engaged audience members on social media. So you'll notice in my posts, and in fact, if I just pull up one of my posts here, most recently, in my posts, at the top of my posts, I have this indirect call to action, which tells people to comment a keyword and they're going to receive a free resource. So you can see this guy here has just recently done this. He gets an automatic reply, and now he's going to start receiving my email communication and my free course. And by the way, on the topic of the free course, if you want access to it, I'll leave the link in the description. You're going to learn how to become a magnetic marketer, how to improve your sales, and you're also going to learn a little bit more about the client ecosystem as well. So go and check that out in the description. So ManyChat collects email addresses and pushes my most engaged audience members from Instagram into my email list. And then eventually, because they're now on my email list, they're going to start receiving long form content from me, which is the nurture machine. So like this video, the whole goal of this video is to nurture you guys, right? It's to help you grow your coaching or consulting business, but it's also to clock up 7 hours worth of viewership with me as your potential coach in the not too distant future. So the whole purpose of long form content is to build a better relationship with your audience, to nurture them, to add value to them, and ultimately to clock up 7 hours so that they can speed up the time that it takes to make a purchasing decision, okay? So I'm doing that by sending these long form videos through my email list, and also by sending them out to people with the ManyChat flows, okay? So that is, in a nutshell, how the client ecosystem operates. Now, obviously, I teach all of this and all of the individual moving parts in tons of detail in my program, but that gives you an overarching view of how this all works. So the attention channel, which is short form, right? Short form content. Here is everything that I'm doing right now with Instagram. This is my entire game plan. It's stupidly simple. So point number one, I'm going to make 7 reels per week, okay? And it's really important to note that these reels are only going to be valued for my ideal clients. There are going to be absolutely 0 direct call to actions as posts on my Instagram page, just reels, okay? 7 reels a week, simple. Then on my stories, I'm going to do behind the scenes, social proof, and daily direct calls to actions. So 5 to 10 stories a day, sharing client wins, CTAs, that's all happening on my stories, okay? I'm then using ManyChat as a keyword CTA in all of my captions, as I just previously showed you. That is going to be going in all of the captions of my posts, taking my most engaged audience members from Instagram deeper into my ecosystem to email and long form content, etc. I'm then going to be running my growth tax ad, which is currently in editing for my new page because I've just set up a new Instagram page. And that is going to bring me in new qualified leads. And I'm going to use my chats to cash process to open up conversations, with my new qualified followers, which for me is coaches, okay? And then I'm using in my description of Instagram, just one bit.ly lead magnet, which is going to push people into my course. So you can see this is linked at the top of my Instagram page. When somebody clicks on that, they punch their name and email address into this really simple landing page, and then they get access to my free course. So that brings us nicely on to the next part of my client ecosystem and the changes that I've made. So once somebody submits their name and email address, of course, they're going to start receiving email communication from me. Now, what I'm doing here is in email number one, I'm granting them access to this free course. So this free course is being held inside my school community. And something that I've done that I think is really quite cool as well that I haven't done previously, and I learned this from my mentor, Tom, is in email number one, I have basically added a call to action to get people to send me a code word. So you can see here it says, to make sure you get my emails over the coming days, just reply to this email the word pineapple. Okay, I just chose a random word. And the reason that I'm doing that is because if somebody replies to your email, it tells the servers that you are a trustworthy marketer and email sender. And so you will land in people's inboxes more readily. You won't land in people's spam or junk folders because they've got an open line of communication with you. So by doing that, I am increasing my deliverability in future email comms that I send out to my subscribers. And I can see that this is already working. People are replying to my initial email from my lead nurture sequence with my keyword, which is pineapple. So this is working really well already. So inside the free course, they're also going to see, so all of my leads who join my mailing list and get access to my free course, they are of course going to get the magnetic marketer, they're going to get the sales training that's promised, but they're also going to get an insight into the client ecosystem, which is the strategy that I'm using right now. It's the strategy that I'm using to grow my coaching consulting business, and it's the strategy that my clients are using as well. But they're also going to see my what I call heavy lifting video, which is basically a video sales letter. So it's this one here labeled backstory. And what this does is it gives my leads an insight into how I help my clients, how I'm growing my own coaching business, which helps me with frictionless sales. It helps me to, again, nurture my leads in such a way that they don't need sales calls, because that's a big thing that I'm focused on, is not taking sales calls for my coaching program. They're also going to see client testimonials and results. So I'll be adding to these over time, but these are a great added layer of social proof. And in every single resource and video that they have access to, they're going to see a direct call to action to DM me in my school platform to apply to work with me. So essentially what I've got now is just another channel where I'm showing social proof, adding value, and giving people an opportunity to inquire about working with me. So this is going to be an amazing addition to my client ecosystem. So the big question is why have I added the school element for leads? So there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's another place for me to share my long form content. So you can see at the top here, I've shared my most recent YouTube video in this community. Now this community is a mix of my paying clients and my leads, but my leads have now got another opportunity to watch my long form content and clock up those 7 hours of viewership so that they trust me and like me. It's also another place for me to showcase my proof and results with a weekly wins post. So currently I've got my amazing assistant Naomi doing this wins post, but she's just congratulating clients that week on all of the achievements that they've made. But my leads in the school community are now going to see this post on a weekly basis. And hopefully it's going to create a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of fear of missing out. It's like an inadvertent, sneaky way of sharing social proof with my most engaged leads. So that is going to work wonders for us. And then eventually it's also going to be another place that I will advertise my micro offers and my core offer intake. So if we're going through a period where we're taking on more clients, maybe we're launching a new program, this is going to be somewhere that I can market that to leads in a closed platform and give them the opportunity to come and work with us in Remote Pro. So that moves us on to a really important part of the client ecosystem now, which is the nurture channel, the long form game plan. So this is a really simple strategy for me. I'm going to be doing 2 educational videos like this one right now every single week. And this is going up from 1 piece of content per week. So I was previously doing 1 long video per week. I'm now moving that to 2. And the rationale is kind of like boy maths. The rationale is that it just doubles my chances of getting clients, right? It speeds up by 2 the process of nurturing my leads. So I'm just going from 1 video a week to 2 videos a week, and I don't think I'm going to struggle with that from a workload perspective. So I'm more than happy to do that additional work. They're going to be listicle videos. So if you watched my last video, it's like 7 things that you can do to make more sales from your content. 5 ways that you can get better results with your clients. I think these types of videos are really simple for me to create. I can just create a presentation like I'm doing now, list out the 5 benefits or points to consider, and they're pretty engaging and they're very useful for my ideal clients. They're all going to be done on slides like this. They're going to be minimal to no edit. There's going to be like a small amount of effort being put into the hook. So the first sort of 30 or 60 seconds of the videos with some scripting, some music and some sound effects, etc. But realistically, the rest of the video is just completely raw, like this one that I'm recording right now, right? I'm just riffing. I'm just speaking candidly to the camera, explaining what I'm doing. There's no script. I'm not editing it. It's just to the point, okay? And then in the description of all of my videos, and you can check this out in the description of this video, I've got a couple of things happening here. So the first is my direct call to action to apply to work with me in Remote Pro. There's a link to my Instagram there and the keyword that they need to message me. The second thing is the link to my free Magnetic Marketer online course, which is going to push people into my mailing list and into my school community. And then the third thing is my heavy lifting video. So this is my video sales letter, or VSL for short, which gives my audience a context of what I'm doing, okay? And that is it. And then these words here are just really to help the algorithm with SEO and keywords to push my videos in front of the right people, okay? So that is the long form game plan. It's really, really simple. Now, a couple of notes on this, right? I am consciously switching between, and you'll notice me do this, like I'm consciously switching between this main camera scene here and my screen share scene here. I'm using Stream Deck and Ecamm to do this, to make it a little bit more engaging and a little bit more viewable, okay? Because I'm not doing editing, because I want to upload twice per week, because I want to focus heavily on value, there needs to be some things that makes the videos a little bit more engaging. And so that is exactly how I'm doing this. Now, one thing that I'm also doing is I'm integrating a call to action to my course early on in my videos. So I'm going to hit play on this video in just a second, and you'll see how I'm doing this as I kind of like inadvertently, subtly steer people towards downloading my lead magnet. So it sounds like this. Saying, comment this keyword on a post and I will send you a free resource, okay? And also, just while I'm on this point, if you follow the link in the description of this video, I'm going to give you access to an amazing free course, the Magnetic Marketer. It's going to show you how you can magnetically attract online clients into your coaching business. It's also going to give you this template spreadsheet where you can build out your own magnetic marketing plan. And as a bit of a bonus, you're also going to get some incredible sales training as well that's going to help you convert those leads into clients. So follow the link in the description and you can get that note. So that's it, right? That is, okay, look, I call it the client ecosystem. It is an ecosystem. It's keeping people in my orb, in my universe, and they're being nurtured by long form content. They're receiving offers and emails and etc. and so on and so forth, right? But if you thought of this as a funnel, my funnel essentially is the long form content. The description of the content is pushing people deeper into the funnel by joining the mailing list and receiving access to the course, okay? So that is essentially the funnel aspect of the long form content, and the description plays a massively key role in doing that. But I want to allude to getting access to the free course in these videos. That is the only call to action that I'm making. And then, well, actually it's not the only call to action, because coming on to this next point, a final call to action that I'm doing at the end of the videos is just to watch more of my videos. Like one of the big goals and focus of the YouTube channel is to clock up 7 hours as quickly as possible with my most engaged leads. So I want them to consume up to 7 hours worth of content with me. I want you to watch up to 7 hours worth of content with me, because then you will feel like you know me, you feel like you can trust me, and you'll potentially become a client. So at the end of my videos, the CTAs are always to watch more videos. And I put options on the screen for you to be able to do that. Now, hooks are a really important part of your YouTube videos. One of the things that I learned from Mr. Beast is repeat what is said in the title and thumbnail as fast as possible, because what this does is it validates the viewer's click. So what I mean by that, like if we take my last video as an example, right? The video was about 7 changes that you can make to your content to make more sales, okay? So it was really critical that in the beginning of the video, I allude to that and confirm to the person who clicked on the video that they've made the right decision and it was what they were expecting it to be. Okay, so I'll just say something like, if you're an online coach who is struggling to make leads and sales from your content, then stick around, because in this video, I'm going to show you 7 changes that you can make to your content to make more sales. Okay, so I'm just basically confirming that they have made the right choice by clicking on the video, because it's exactly what they were expecting it to be. So there's a lovely acronym that Alex Hormozy uses for his hooks, and it's the triple P method, and it stands for person, pain, and proof. So using that example that I just used, the person is a coach, the pain is not making leads or sales from your content, and the proof is you adding some credibility to this. So it might sound something like this. If you're an online coach who is sick of posting content every day but not generating leads or sales for your coaching business, well then stick around, because in this video I'm going to show you 7 unusual things that you can do to make sure that you make more sales from your content. And I know this works because since implementing these strategies, I've generated over $130,000 for my own coaching and consulting business in the last 10 weeks alone. So that was the person, the pain, and then the proof that what I'm saying actually works. So that is a really nice structured way to build out your hooks to keep people on your videos. Okay. Now, just a few mindset points with long form content. Content that gets views doesn't get sales, right? You're not trying to go viral like Mr. Beast. Content that gets sales doesn't get views. So that I just made an error there. I need to adjust that before I do this masterclass tomorrow. That should read like this. Content that gets views doesn't get sales. Content that gets sales doesn't get views. Okay. You need to keep that in mind. We are not chasing millions of views on these videos. We're trying to create frictionless sales by clocking up 7 hours of viewership with your most engaged leads. Okay. That is the whole purpose of this. So guys, hopefully you found this video useful. And if you've enjoyed this, then you can click around here. You know what I'm doing now, getting you to watch more videos. Click around here and obviously make sure you follow the link in the description to get access to that free course. And you can see the client ecosystem playing out for itself. Plus you're going to learn a thing or two about marketing and sales as well. So it's an added benefit for everyone. And I will see you on the next video.